Welcome to Capital Talk. It's 25 minutes after 8 o'clock in the morning. It's 11th of December 2025. It's also pre weekend. My name is Jesse, the African Son. I have my friend who is also my guest this morning. His name is Harish. All right. And today we just want to have a conversation on a millionaire mindset. It's a critical conversation because we're just about the time when people are making New Year resolutions. Now, New Year resolutions, it means you want to be better or you want to improve areas where you did not do better. It could be individually, it could be business. And so just having this mindset, if you're looking at 2026 in a very, different way, you have a bigger picture of what you want to become, what you want to achieve. But anyway, Harish is here. He's a business advisor. And I'll take the time to just go through the conversation with him. We want to know, what does it take to think big? What does it take to grow, to innovate, to bounce back when everything has not worked out in your favor? But how do you bounce back when you've fallen flat? And to build a future that you are proud of. And this morning, Harish, a respected business advisor here in Rwanda, he sits at Nalskin. He has experience from around Africa. He's worked in India. He's worked in London. And so he brings a wealth of experience, across all these markets. He's seen how different cultures approach success, discipline, risk, and growth. And he's here to share what Rwandans can learn from those global mindsets. He's also given me the assurance that in whatever I do, I should succeed. Harish, good to have you again on Capital Talk. Good morning.
Good morning to you. And yes, New Year's resolution time. And some people want to become fit,
I know.
they want to lose weight,
Yes.
and some people want to succeed. Those people who want to succeed in business
Yeah.
approach me. And success is engineered. You don't become a millionaire without a plan in mind. And I don't believe in luck. You may be lucky, you win a lottery, but most lottery winners lose it within the first 3 years. So luck doesn't pay, may have a part. Let it be a bonus, but you have to engineer your success. And if you're building a bridge, then you need to know the the strength of the columns, how much weight it can take, the beams, and then the deck. If you overload it, then it will crash. Similarly, in business, we have to engineer our success. And it starts with, there are no shortcuts in business. Nobody becomes a millionaire overnight. It happens during, it takes a long while. But some people achieve it faster than others. But it has to be engineered. And yes, mindset is an important thing. People need to deal with big problems and rich people's problems. If you want to become rich, then you need to surround yourself with rich people. Serving poor hardly makes anyone a millionaire.
Will you serve the poor people?
Yes, there is a place for serving poor people. It's not my, it's not my area. NGOs can do that, governments can do that. I'm not here to serve the poor. I'm not like Jesus, who can turn one loaf of bread into 5,000 loaves. That capacity I don't have. So, but for people who want to become wealthy, they need to start surrounding themselves with wealthy people and solve wealthy people's problems. Because otherwise, I've worked in 3 continents. I've worked in India, I've worked in Africa, and I've worked in London. And Africa seems to have the fewest millionaires and billionaires throughout the world.
That's very true.
If you look at the highest millionaires are in America and China and Europe, and then the new millionaires that are rising are in Asia, somewhere in India or Taiwan or wherever. Why should Africa be left out? In population terms, Africa is nearly the same population terms wise. If you put the whole of Africa, similar to China or India, 1.4, 1.5 billion. If India and China could have, 30 to 40,000, 3 to 4,000, billionaires, and Africa only has a handful, there is something fundamentally wrong. And I spoke to somebody recently, and he said that he supplies granites and he sells granite. And I told him, Oliver, you guys are very blessed. This country, you have 365 days of warm weather, no winter. You have nearly 200 days of rainfall. It's a very green, pretty, picturesque country. And he tells me, Harish, you're telling me I am blessed, and I feel poor. It is true, people, because you have not been exposed, and to me, Rwanda is like, English summer, 365 days a year. It's beautiful, it's clean, it's picturesque, and but let's get back to the millionaire mindset.
Yes, I wanted to ask, when you think of the millionaire mindset, what is the very first trait that comes to your mind? And you possibly could tell me why.
That's a good question, and it is tough when you feel poor to think of solving big problems or think of addressing rich people's problems when you feel yourself poor. Just because you feel poor and you are poor does not mean that the world hasn't got money. There is more wealth created in the last 25 years than any time in history of life, of mankind. And that's mainly because of internet and all this thing. And now AI is going to be the biggest technological revolution. Every technological revolution destroys some jobs, but creates a lot more opportunities. If we go back to history, if we moved away from horse and cart to cars, the cars created more jobs and opportunities for the world over. The same thing is going to happen now with AI. So anyone who wants to become the new millionaire, new billionaire, then needs to work with AI. My personal example, we are creating video content at the moment and doing it manually. First month we were only able to do maybe 30 pieces. We have subscribed to an AI tool, and from one long format video it can produce 50 to 60 pieces. And I can do 100 pieces in a day. And it does not only the video editing, it does the captions, it does the thumbnails, it does the tagging, it does everything. So this is a huge enabler. If you look at a farmer, Rwanda is mostly farming community. If you were to look at a farmer digging, cultivating his land with just his bare hands and a djembe, he can do half an acre. If he goes and buys an ox and a plow, he can do 5 acres. He goes and buys a tractor, he can do 50 acres. It's the same farmer. What's the difference? He's leveraged technology. And AI, internet, all this is technology. If the world is, people are making millions out of social media content creation in the West, Africa is being left out. And it's mainly because Africa doesn't have a payment system that allows content creators to be paid. And I see lots of young, talented people making dance videos, crews, whatnot. Their mothers making. I have a maid who is an actress.
She's an actress.
Yeah, she's made TV series in your local language, but because they are not making money out of it on YouTube, she's become a maid.
And she's a star on YouTube.
Yes. So, and it's mainly because they're not able to monetize it. Unlike India or China or in Europe or America, where content creators get paid by the platforms, there is, for some reason, it is not possible over here.
And you attribute that to lack of payment systems
I think
or
it's only
lack of
lack of
awareness?
payment system and lack of government. Kenya has successfully done it. Why can't Rwanda do it? Kenya forced the platforms to start paying its creators. I think something similar needs to happen for the rest of Africa.
Listen, you've lived and worked in India and in the UK. What is that one cultural habit from each of these places that you think Rwandans could adopt to boost our business goals towards becoming successful individuals?
Good question. And I've lived in both three continents, and I come from an Eastern culture. In the Eastern culture, we have this tradition of mentorship or gurus. You have religious gurus as well as business gurus. Now that I came back to Africa after 30 years, I went and approached a few individuals who have been in Rwanda for 20 or 30 years, who have been doing business over here. What is it that I can do? What is it that I need to be aware of? What businesses should I go into? Is it possible for you to guide me? These are simple questions that you can ask somebody who's been here long enough. And that can eliminate a lot of potholes on the road. And that culture I see lacking in the African continent, because you've wholeheartedly accepted the Western mindset where I can do it all. No, nobody can do it all. At the moment I'm leveraging, my staff's time and skill. I'm leveraging technology. I'm leveraging, the bank's money, capital, which is people's savings that went into, paying for my loan. So no man is an island on his own, and your mentor doesn't have to be brilliant. He just needs to be 2 steps ahead of you to be able to help you when you fall in a ditch. So this mindset of, using somebody who already has gone through the route or the road is a little further ahead as your mentor, that saves you a lot of pain along the way.
Somebody just brought me to the issue that we earlier hinted on, serving the rich to become rich. And they seem to suggest that a lot of people from the West, and even from Asia, have come into Africa, okay, and they have become successful and they have become rich serving the poor Africans. How would you defend the issue where you say that to become rich, you have to serve the rich?
Okay. We have to take it in with a pinch of salt. Even in the African community, there are well-off or middle-class, Africans, and there are poor Africans. Yes, most supermarkets are serving both the lower end as well as the upper end. But if I look at a supermarket example, the staples, rice, milk, bread, are loss leaders. Nobody makes much money out of selling bread or selling milk or selling rice. There are things that we sell at loss to attract customers, and while they are walking through the aisles, they'll pick a few items. That we can recover our losses from the loss leaders.
Yes.
In UK, milk and bread and eggs are always at the last corner of the shop. You are forced to walk around everywhere to get to it. While you are walking to it and walking away from it to the till, you are picking up a few things that the supermarket will make money out of. And it is true that Indians and Chinese have come into Africa and made money. It is not, again, by luck. It is by design. We don't come here, and the failure rate of Indian or Chinese businesses is very low because they study the market, they ask people who have been here before, use them as mentors to guide them, and that eliminates failure rates. And yes, there is money to be made in serving all parts of society, but you want to become rich quicker, then serve rich people's problems. I'm not saying you should not serve the poor. There is a place for serving the poor. Supermarkets or other retail stores do serve the poor.
I want to look at a question. Earlier you mentioned that there is nothing to do with luck if you are to become successful, right?
Yes.
A lot of people think becoming wealthy is all about luck. A lot of people think that way. Maybe just a lot of people around me, they think that way. It's luck. Now, from your experience, how true could that be? And if not, how would you defend it that it's not luck? And what is that other thing? Or is there something deeper behind everyone's success? If it's not luck, what is it?
Success, as I said, you have to engineer your success. And if you engineer something or you plan to do something, if you don't plan, you plan to fail. If you want to plan to succeed, then you need a plan that you can execute on and you can follow through. A lot of people give up, they start enthusiastically, like this New Year's resolutions. People say, I'm gonna lose 5 kgs, or I'm gonna lose 10 kgs. They start enthusiastically, they take a membership, and then the arms or the legs starts aching and they stop. They give up.
To me so many times.
Yeah. They give up.
Yeah.
And in business, you can't give up. You have to, fight your way through the chaos and find, a clear path. And if you work hard, you work, methodically, then luck will be a blessing. But hope is not a strategy. I would say prayer is a better strategy than hoping for success or hoping for luck. You have to plan it. You have to
plan for it.
engineer